And welcome back to another episode of Board Game Snobs. This is a mini pod sesh with me and Sharde.
Hey guys. Sorry, I came out a little strongly.
Immediately weird. Immediately coming in weird.
Gaby, it's been too long, great.
It's been 3 weeks. 3 months.
3 months since you looked at me.
Unfortunately, I look at you on a more regular basis. But it's been 3 months since you've been on the podcast.
I miss mini pod sesh with you because I like talking on the Board Game Snobs.
Mini pod sesh number 5.
Yes. We need to be more, what is the word? Active? Regular.
Not constipated.
Yeah. If someone told me, you know what is worse than being constipated? Is the constipated before constipated. Does that make sense to you?
No.
God. The beginning of it.
Why do you come on here and immediately just lose it?
What do you mean?
You're good to go, and then you come on here and you start talking about pre-constipation.
Yeah, pre-constipation.
What is that?
It's it's like this feeling. It's a feeling oh my God, I'm constipated.
I got a feeling.
It's worse.
That tonight's gonna be a rough night. Wow.
Anyways.
Yeah. And
I don't know.
That's going to do it for this show.
Sorry.
Gosh. All right. So what have you been up to? Or why butts?
Why butts? That's disagreeable, nerd.
Yeah.
You can't merge the two.
Hey.
Thief.
Hey, I own the copyrights to both of the Podbean accounts, so I can do whatever I want.
You're two different people, though. You're the titular host, the scribbler nerd. But on Board Game Snobs, you're just a snob. I've been up to nothing since the pandemic because all I do now is I read a lot these days, more, which is good because I have all these classic novels that I want to catch up with and read. So I finished Frankenstein, which I've already said this on Disagreeable Nerd. And now I'm on to a book that you highly recommended, and that is The Pictures of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. And so far...
Portrait?
What?
Is it pictures or portrait?
It's pictures, Gaby.
Get the book.
I am not going to prove anything to you. I'm absolutely confident of it because I know I say a lot of factoids and say things.
I know, and they're all wrong. Okay, you're just like Jerry.
Gaby,
everything you say is wrong. It's the Portrait of Dorian Gray.
It is not the Portrait of Dorian Gray. It is the Pictures of Dorian Gray.
They didn't have pictures back then.
Yes, they did.
They had portraits.
Calm yourself.
Was it a flash bulb? Was it a black and white photo?
You're going to laugh real hard when it's the pictures.
It is the picture of Dorian Gray. Wow. Look at me. Yeah. For once, you knew something I did not.
Oh, that's a false.
Oh, wait. Whatever. I meant to play this. And here is Sharde. They love you. They really love you.
Stop it. Continue.
They love me. They really love me.
No. You are incorrect.
You know what?
I think it's funny.
I have for this whole time thought it was the Portrait of Dorian Gray because it is his portrait.
Yes, Gaby.
What is a picture? What is a portrait? What's the difference?
It's just a synonym for
a portrait.
I don't know. It's weird.
What is a portrait?
A portrait is usually a picture of somebody.
Exactly. Dorian Gray.
A person. Well, ask Oscar Wilde because I don't know why he put that. And then in the book, he says portrait. So who knows? Anyways.
It is. I am shocked that you were right.
I can't believe
and
you're
I was
shocked.
wrong. It's because
you've had this book for how long?
Always wrong. It's just shocking.
I'm not always wrong, okay? You need to calm down with that stuff right here. But you've had this book for a long time sitting on your shelf, and you did not know
it was just for appearances only. I just bought it because it was my mother's favorite book. And I was like, one of these days, I'll read that book.
You should read it.
I have not touched. After you said that, I was browsing through the first few paragraphs. I was like, oh, this is very modernly written.
It is. It's very
unlike the Wuthering Heights. I tried to read Wuthering Heights. Oh my God. No.
Okay. You know what I was thinking about?
I want to, because that also was one of my mom's favorite books and movies. Which one? I don't remember exactly. I think there's one with Ralph Fiennes that she really liked. Oh, a sneeze. Is it a photic sneeze? Do you require look at the light, Sharde? Look at the light.
I'm not the little freak that has to look at the light like Gina. It just goes away. I'm looking, it's not working.
Thrust your head forward towards the light.
This is voodoo.
Oh, Gina and Dan Hughes.
So, just real quick, Gaby, something that
How's the book? Oh, wait. Let's go back just a little bit. Frankenstein. Did you like it or not?
Yes, I liked Frankenstein a lot. It was very, very melancholy. Like, I like to say that word.
Because you just learned it?
No, I did not. It's just, I like to say it because it sounds artsy. And
also, you did not know that Lassie was a collie. And also, you did not know who Lassie was.
You know what, though? Knowledge is, you just continue learning.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power, and
you are growing in power.
You never stop
every
learning.
time you talk to me.
Sorry, no, don't make it's like you ask me a question, and then I don't even get to answer the question.
Sorry, go ahead.
I actually had something about Dorian Gray that I was going to say really quick.
All right.
Something
Dorian Gray, you're going to say.
Something that I realized about books from the 1800s, 1700s, whatever, the classics, whatever.
It was 1890, I think was, 1890-ish was that one.
Yes. So some books are interesting and they're eloquently written. And I find that some are also very boring.
Oh, God.
And I think Wuthering Heights, I started reading Wuthering Heights at one point, and it is boring. I don't know if I don't have enough appreciation for it, but when I started reading The Pictures of Dorian Gray, I was very, very interested. Like I couldn't stop reading it. It's very interesting, and it's also very philosophical, which I like stuff like that because it's like it makes you think. And I've like
then read Stranger in a Strange Land by Robert A. Heinlein.
I have no interest in reading.
Starts off like an X-Man and then quickly turns into a full of
I don't like books that change like that. I don't like that. I haven't even read this book, but I know you told me about it, and it gets really weird.
I was like, yeah, this is cool. Then it's like, what is life? What is religion?
Well, not like that kind of philosophical stuff. More artsy than anything.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how Oscar Wilde is. He's a very...
Quick question.
Aesthetic, artsy person. Go ahead.
Do you like, when you read a book, do you envision a person, like what they might look like in an actor or something?
Sometimes. Sometimes, this is really weird, I envision, if I've seen the author, I envision the author as the main character.
Really?
If I see a photo.
When did that ever take place with you? I'm calling your bluff right now, I feel like.
Oscar Wilde.
Where have you seen a picture of him?
On the internet. What do you mean?
What, a selfie?
The worldwide, global... There's portraits of him.
The portrait of Oscar Wilde?
No, I'm jumping the gun, but yeah, seriously, I saw him and I now picture him in like the character.
Well, that's the great thing about books, obviously, for all of those that read, which is becoming a lost art form, I almost feel like. But,
what do you mean?
I mean, how many kids these days are reading books? Novels.
Honestly,
they're on TikTok.
I'll be honest, I don't know.
I'll be honest, neither do I. But as the older generation, what we're supposed to do is complain about the younger generation. So I'm just going to say...
But I'm part of that generation.
You're an anomaly.
Well. I
mean, Enrique ain't never picked up a book. He don't know what a book is.
Maybe comic books are part of reading. Comic books.
Okay. But anyway, so... See, I got myself off my own path.
Get back on the path.
What was I saying?
Anomalies, generation, books. We all suck as the young generation. You know, that stuff.
Okay. Oh, good Lord. And anyway.
You did ask me about Frankenstein and how that was.
No, you went way too far back just then.
Sorry. I tried.
So when I read, No, that's what I was going to say. When I read, like, you're in your mind, you are envisioning all this stuff. And that's what's so great about reading is like you are making your own brain movie, basically. So the biggest one I ever always go back to is I used to read Dirk Pitt all the time, the Clive Cussler novels. Dirk Pitt, just a world traveling. He worked for NUMA, this National Underwater Marine Agency. He was like the James Bond of the seas. It was just a crazy book. I think NUMA actually exists, but Dirk Pitt, like the way he described him in the novels, he was always had a craggy tanned face from being out in the sun for so long. Mm-hmm. Sandy hair, and I believe green eyes. It's been a long time since I've read Clive Cussler, because after you read like 10 of them, they do get kind of samey. But they're still very entertaining. They're very adventurous. I like adventure novels.
Right.
Then they made Sahara with Matthew McConaughey. And I thought, that is exactly what I painted in my brain for Dirk Pitt. Matthew McConaughey is Dirk Pitt.
Yeah.
He was the description in every novel. Like, he was perfect. I don't know about the Southern drawl, but okay. The way he looked. So, but Al Giordino, completely wrong.
All right. That's what he likes to say, right?
Wow, your mouth moved really weird when you said that.
I feel like you have to make the mouth movements to like make the accent.
I mean, your mouth moved a lot more than it should have.
You probably
like my mouth is barely moving.
You thought you saw something.
Right. You were going, all right.
See how it changes?
But you're getting me off course. Okay, Dirk Pitt, they nailed it. Al Giordino is a short Italian barrel-chested man. That is not Steve Zahn, the funny guy. Remember Steve Zahn, his little sidekick in Sahara? The funny guy.
Oh, yes.
That is not Al Giordino.
I totally forgot. Okay.
Yeah, so they got that wrong. But it's always interesting to see.
I've only seen that movie once, so it's hard. I'm having a hard time remembering how he looked.
I really wish it had been a better movie. I enjoyed it for what it was, just to see a novel I read come to life. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't atrocious.
I enjoyed it.
It was pretty cheesy.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. It was just a fun, dumb movie. I mean, it was action adventure, which I do miss that genre of movie. Maybe the Uncharted movies will come out and that will work. We need some more Indiana Jones in our life.
Yes. I love the Indiana
You know, they're
Jones.
making there's a series of Sony PlayStation games called Uncharted.
No idea what that is.
It's basically Indiana Jones.
Okay.
But I believe they have cast Tom Holland.
Ooh, I like him.
Yeah, he's supposed to play Drake. Drake. Drake Ramore. I don't know. Drake Ramore is actually the character that Joey from Friends played on the soap opera on Friends. Anyway.
Never watched that either.
Quick question.
I'm judging.
Have you ever heard... Okay, so I was working the other day, and I work with a lot of young people. Have you ever heard of Miami Vice?
Yes, never watched it. Never will watch it.
Do you know what it's about?
It's a cop show.
Okay. But you've heard of it.
Yeah. I've never got into stuff like that, really. Even now, I don't care that much.
Okay. Well, I mean, at least you've heard of it, which is more than I can say for my associate. I don't know if I call her a friend if she doesn't know what the Miami Vice is.
It's like I've heard the name, but I don't know anything about it at all.
Would you know the theme music?
No, I don't know any of that. I just know I've heard the name Miami Vice.
For some reason, the Phil Collins song, I Can Feel It Coming in the Air Tonight.
That's the theme?
No, like that is like, for me, that's always associated with Miami Vice, though. I don't know if it was in a particular episode. I don't know. I don't know if they played that in an episode, but the Miami Vice theme music is, I believe it says right here.
Is this copyright?
Oh, yeah.
No. Sounds super cheesy.
Hey, you watch your mouth. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll stop that because Jerry will be upset. But
definitely hear Phil Collins.
We're not making money off this podcast. What are they going to do?
I wanted to backtrack really quickly when I said I envision Oscar Wilde in the Pictures of Dorian Gray. I take that back. Okay. I'm thinking of him when I'm reading it, but the way they describe the character Dorian Gray, he is nothing like the actual Oscar Wilde. He's blonde hair, blue eyes type of person. Really? So I don't know why I said that. Like, I'm like, wait, what am I talking about? I'm like saying all kind of incorrect things right now.
I'm still just shook over the whole portrait. I could have sworn.
What do you
it was
mean?
portrait.
You know, that's how, you know how you said you were just so shook about it? Like, yes. That's how I feel sometimes about something I think is right. And I'm like, I am so positive.
I would have went down on my ship thinking it was the portrait. Okay, so I don't know why. Because he was never in it. But there was an actor called, hold on, let me double check his name. Tyrone Power. He was my mother's favorite actor when she was younger. He was mostly active in like the 30s and 40s, maybe. I don't know many. He died pretty young. But I could have swore he was in the Picture of Dorian Gray movie, and that's why she loved it so much, because she loved Tyrone Power. She thought he was just the most handsome, debonair. I mean, just, you know, the classic Hollywood actor.
So there's a movie about it? I mean, yeah. I didn't even know that.
Okay, so when we were discussing this whole thing, you started reading the novel. I was like, yeah, Tyrone Power was in Picture of Dorian Gray. And I start looking up Picture of Dorian Gray like, no, the one from the 30s is not him. It's somebody else. So, and I'm like, so why? So I was just confused. And unfortunately, my mother's not here for me to clarify with. And I kind of wish I could, because I don't remember if it was her favorite novel or her favorite book, but I'm pretty sure it was her favorite novel.
If only you can ask Lady Moraga.
I know, but I cannot. The Picture of Dorian Gray, 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, total count of 14 critics.
That's the movie.
This is the movie from 1945.
So is there a remake from today?
Starring George Sanders as Lord Henry Wotton? How would you say that?
Yeah, I've seen his name in the book. How have you said
that in your brain?
I don't say words right, but I was thinking Wotton.
Okay.
I don't know.
It may possibly be. Who knows? Heard Hatfield, Angela Lansbury, Murder, She Wrote, The Candlestick, or was she the teacup? She was in Beauty and the Beast.
You're talking about Beauty and the Beast. See, you know way too many things about, like, characters and cartoons. Like, I don't even know who played her voice.
I think she was the teacup.
Like, you watch way too much TV.
Donna Reed, Peter Lawford. Yeah. I need to rewatch that movie. I need to reread the book.
I seriously, when I'm done, I highly recommend you read this book. I mean, it's really good so far. I really like it. It's just so... He's a good writer. Oscar Wilde is a very good writer. I like how he writes. No, like some people, like classics, they're so amazing because they're a classic. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to like freaking say no just because it's a classic.
He wrote about the impotence of being earnest.
Good. So, what? Sorry.
He wrote about the importance of being earnest.
Oh, okay. I went down an Oscar Wilde wormhole, and I saw that.
He wrote.
He's a playwright too.
Salami.
He wrote a lot of plays.
I don't know how to say it.
Oh my god!
Salami.
You're like butchering everything.
Send a salami to your boy in the army. Okay.
Don't know that reference, but
all right. So, anyway, you're reading that. So, okay.
What are you reading? Like, are you got something? Like you've been reading?
I'm still reading the same book.
Oh my god. Is it Theater of the Gods? Oh my god. I'm so over this book. And you make fun of me with Frankenstein.
Hey.
Oh my god. I can talk so much crap and trash you right now.
Do it. I dare you. Go ahead.
But you're my friend, Gaby.
Okay. Well, I would do it to you. Oscar Wilde was 6'3".
He's super. He looked like a giant.
He died at 46.
Very young man.
Huh. Probably
he had 2 children.
Overdosed on drugs or alcohol. That's kind of what.
No, I don't think that. I don't think that was it. I think I read it on Wikipedia, which you can't really trust Wikipedia, but I
Wikipedia is the source of all knowledge. If it's there, it's true.
I trust it. Yeah. But,
did it say how he died?
I actually can't remember. I thought I remembered. I don't know. I skipped over that part. I was looking more at like what he all wrote and why he was so incredible and all this. And why he was such I kind of feel like he was one of those writers that was controversial, possibly, that he wrote something where they took out some things because people didn't like it. I don't know. Like, what kind of writer, but yeah.
My bad. He developed meningitis.
Oh, that's what it was. That is what it was. I did read that. I forgot. Yeah. It was so unremarkable. Unremarkable. I can't even say that stupid word. I'm not even going to butcher that again.
What, meningitis is unremarkable to you?
That sounds super dark for me to say, or like I don't care. But it was like a death that's like, oh, okay.
It wasn't like tragic and artsy. It was just a disease. Lots of people died of diseases back in the early 1900s.
I guess it was like, oh, meningitis. That's a death. I mean,
he literally died in 1900.
Yeah, it's a common death.
Well, meningitis is deadly now.
I mean, I'm saying it's common. It's a common death, right?
Yeah, it's that you don't want to mess with that stuff.
Like one of my cousins had that, and she recovered, but thankfully, I know Helen Keller, didn't she have it? That she didn't she get, that's how she became deaf and blind. I'm pretty sure I'm right.
You just pulled something you just pulled that out of the air.
I don't know. I could be wrong.
And
Let's just go with it. Let's just go with it. We don't even have to look it up. Let's just believe it. Believe false facts.
This says Helen Keller, yada yada yada. Wikipedia.
She didn't die, obviously, but she recovered.
Oh, well, she did die at some point in her life.
Well,
like we all do, and we all will. That is life. I'm depressed.
I am too. Let's end the podcast.
No, it says, what is it?
Gaby, see, you're
scarlet, which might have been scarlet fever or meningitis.
I wasn't too far off.
Well, no, I mean, it could have been meningitis. You're correct.
So when I say it's a common thing, it seems like it was a common thing in those times, and they didn't have much medicine to manage it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, they did it employ leeches and measuring the size of your cranium and mercury and whatever else for crazy stuff. Who knew? All right. Well, I guess since this is Board Game Snobs, this is a mini pod session number 5. Unlike much like the Mambo number 5. You ever heard Mambo number 5?
I'm just gonna pretend like I know.
You've never heard of Mambo number 5? Here comes another copyright issue.
No idea.
I can't believe this.
Is that like basketball or something? Or
ladies and gentlemen, this is Mambo number 5.
You never heard Mambo number 5?
This sounds really familiar.
Well, you should. Here you go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody in the car.
They play this at Walmart on a regular basis to get people really shopping. I'm not joking.
Gaby would know this. Okay.
You've never heard of that?
I do not know that. No. Sorry. Gaby, I don't know why you think I know stuff. Like,
you know what? That's a good question. I don't either.
Like you act like Paige says false things, but then you should know this, Paige.
Why would I think you know anything?
I don't know. You assumed I knew Mambo 5, whatever.
Mambo.
I was thinking
Mambo. It's a dance.
I was thinking Kobe Bryant.
Black Mamba.
I was like, wait, what? Are we what? R.I.P. By the way. So anyway, I don't know. I don't know stuff.
That needs to be on your gravestone. I don't know stuff. Paige Shepherd, R.I.P. She didn't know stuff.
I'm going to leave you in charge to put that there.
I will. You're assuming I will live longer than you? Much appreciated.
I always assume that for some reason. It's weird. I don't know why.
I'm going to freeze my head.
Even though you
put it on a different robot body. And I'll be like, I outlived you, Paige. Okay, we're getting right off the rails. Let me rein it back in.
Way off the rails. But this is banter.
Oh my God. If you keep mentioning that it's banter, it kind of does away with the whole thing.
Oh, you think it takes away the aesthetics?
What aesthetic? That's another one of your favorite words, aesthetic.
It takes away the aesthetics when you bring out, oh, that's aesthetics.
Oh, that's what we get for recording late at night.
That's when the best stuff comes out.
Right before Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. I'm off work.
That's why we're staying up late.
Sharde's off work. Few brewskis.
We have no plans.
Good to go. What else we gonna do? Hey, let's make a podcast. All right. You have played and I have played.
Let's get to board games.
Targi. Or Targi. I literally still don't know how it's said.
I feel like you should say Targi. I could easily
look that up, but okay. Let's go with Targi.
I don't know.
Not?
Why Targi?
It's just like the whole GIF. Who knows?
I mean...
I'm sure somebody does because I believe it's a word from a certain culture. So there's probably an actual pronunciation, which I should know, but I have not looked it up. So we're going to go with whatever falls out of our mouth.
Targi. We've been saying Targi
game
for a while. So
a 2-player game from Cosmos. Designer Andreas Steiger. Artist Tyra Akitsu and Franz Volwinkle. We're going to go with that. It's the game where you set up the cards.
Nice accent there.
I believe there's a grid of 20 cards, 25 cards. I believe there's a grid of 25 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go with 25 cards. 5 across, 5 down. Along the outside edges of the grid, you place the Targis. I believe that's what they're called. And then wherever they intersect, so if you place one at, card number 2 up top and card number 3 along the sides, wherever those two intersect, you also take that action. So you get upwards of 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 5 actions in this game because you have 3 of the dudes on the outside and the 2 intersecting spots in the middle.
I like that we had so many actions to take in this game.
Yes. So much like many worker placements, there's blocking people out. I go to a spot that now you can't go to. And if you put a spot on column 4 up top, then you cannot go to column 4 down below and be opposing me on the opposite side. I can't oppose myself. It would be pointless.
So one of the things about this game that I really had a hard time comprehending.
Really had a hard time comprehending.
Okay, we get it. You played with me and you got stressed out or whatever.
Much like 21 Pilots, I was stressed out.
I was going to start quoting a song, but I was like, no, don't do that page. You know how you said across from each other, you can't put your piece there versus... Okay, wait. What was it? Across?
See, down.
Or side
just down.
by side.
It doesn't...
Okay, wait. I'm serious. I'm really trying to
across.
Explain
I was saying across.
Across. So I don't know how to explain it like without showing you what I'm talking about, but I'm just gonna say it took me a minute to understand. Like I had to think of it like a river, like. Oh, okay, across the river.
Yeah, I was trying to demonstrate it by like saying, pretend this is a lake or pond in the middle. I'm across from you.
I wasn't thinking across.
You cannot
was like
put
that.
Across from yourself in this column or row. Do you know the difference between rows and columns?
Yes, I was.
I'm not being smart. I mean, do you know?
Obviously, you're not being smart. That sounds like a smart question. Oh my god. Okay.
I mean, because I didn't know it for a long time.
It wasn't.
I feel like you're dodging the question. You don't really know.
It wasn't that I didn't understand.
She doesn't know.
I was thinking across from you meant not across the river. I was thinking like literally beside me. Literally
so like
beside me was across from me.
Let's say I was on card number 5 on the far right side on the far right column. Say I was on card number 5. Paige would think if she put it on card number 6 beside me on that far right column, that was a cross. Like she couldn't put that card there. I said, no, it means if you go all the way across onto card number, whatever that would be, 20 something, you can't do that. You cannot be on the same. If I'm on this row on the right side, you cannot be on that same row on the left side. If I'm on this column here at position 2, you cannot be that same column down below on that same position 2.
Yes. I don't know why it took me so long to understand that. But you know what? I get it now. And one of the things that also was a struggle for me, and just, okay, bear with me here. Geometry was not my strong suit. Adjacent. I am so dumb. Oh my God. Okay, so when we were, doing the adjacent thing and merging our pieces, I had to put my hand to make sure it was adjacent. I couldn't. No,
you're talking about the intersection.
Or no, yeah, not the adjacent. The intersection. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, the intersection.
I'm okay, wherever your column intersects with your row in the center of the map there's 9 cards. That is also the action you get.
I was just having a hard time with that.
She had a hard time with that.
And I don't know why. And I can't imagine playing this game with somebody besides you or even Jerry, because I feel like they would all. Jerry would be super obnoxious and condescending to you. He would cancel me. He would kick me out of the room or something. Yeah. But I mean, even you were having a hard time. You were super.
As much as I love you, I was having a hard time.
He was like, "Oh my God, Paige," and I was just like, "Oh my God, Gaby, I don't know. I'm
Gen
sorry."
Z, millennials. Whatever the crap you are.
I don't really think I'm not even part of that.
Don't get grids and columns and rows.
I'm not a label.
Don't label me. Don't put me in the box.
I'm just naturally kind of just don't get it sometimes. It takes me a minute. So, and I'm okay admitting that. So.
But you did get it.
But I did get it, and I really enjoy it.
With some help along the way.
Yes.
She did get it.
I played it several times now.
Several times. We played it, I believe, 4 times. And each time, I had to give her some kindly reminders. Nope. You can't go there.
Sorry, I didn't even laugh that loud into the microphone.
That is not the spot you can go to.
But that's what true friends are for.
That is not across. That is beside.
But overall, the point of the game, I understood the game.
Those 2 junctions? Okay, yeah, that's where it goes. Okay, that's where it goes.
We get it, Gaby. We get it. I didn't need that much help, but you know what I mean.
So the basics of the game, most people know, but just in case you don't, you're collecting salt, pepper,
cotton.
Dates.
Not cotton. Why did I say cotton? I was thinking of, I don't know what I am thinking about right now. I do not know.
Thinking about cotton, apparently.
I'm thinking of knitting.
Cotton Eye Joe?
Cotton Eye Joe.
Where did you come from? Where did you go? The Cotton Eye Joe. So you got dates, salt, pepper, gold.
Gold, that's what it was.
Gold's the tough one to come by. And then you're using those things to collect these tribes. And when you collect these tribes, if you collect all of one kind, you get multiple points. If you collect one of each kind, you get slightly fewer points. It's I think it's 4 or 6.
Yeah.
But all of one kind is more points. So, and you have a grid in front of yourself, a tableau of 12 cards that you can add to. And once you start a row, you cannot change it.
Finish it.
So if you lay out these cards, then you can't be shuffling them around just to make it fit your fancy. So
which I wish I could have. I wish you could do that, but I guess that would make it more. I mean,
make it easy. See, that's what I'm saying, and this is a discussion that we'll get into later with Kingswood. I like games that have definitive rules, and once something is locked in, you can't change it to make it easier because you're stuck with the decision you made.
Man, so hard. I'm indecisive.
I believe I'm going to look up our wins losses.
I was going to say, I also like the pieces in this game. I like the gold. I always like games when the money I don't know if the gold's supposed to be money. I don't know what you would call that. It's just gold, I guess. It's not like a paper pieces.
I did buy the Geek Bits from BoardGameGeek.com store. Oh. So those were not the originals.
Well, I like them.
I like to upgrade my bits.
You are a true board game geek, and I like that. That's fine.
I like to have coins and metal coins. Jerry rolls his eyes and like.
Why does he roll his eyes?
Oh, because he
doesn't like that you.
Jerry's one of those guys that still thinks being contrary is cool, and he's just a super hipster douche, basically.
Jerry. He's such a douche,
and I love him so much. Though,
of course, same. No, I hate Jerry.
But I bought the upgraded Geek Bits from Board Game Geek store. So if you want those for Targi, they are very nice. I encourage them a lot because just the tactile feel of them is very nice.
I mean, it's just between nice me and you, having pieces in your game. It's artsy too. Like board gaming is an art to me. I will say that. Board gaming or the board games themselves? Oh, no. Okay, board games in themselves. Like the pieces, the part, or the pieces and the parts. Wow. I don't know what I'm saying right. Pieces and the parts. The pieces, that's all. Right. And that you upgrade them and make them, cool looking, I guess. Yeah. That's just something about that adds to the playing of the board game, I guess. Yeah. So I like that. It's awesome. I agree. And some people have taken it upon themselves. Like there's TopShelfGamer.com. There's BoardGameGeek.com. They have the Board Game Geek store where they have lots of upgraded bits. There's lots of sites that just produce these fancy bits and pieces for the games that add to the tactile feel of the game. They add weight to the pieces. They add metal coins. I like all that. I mean, you have like everything for board gaming. I don't know if you still have it, but you have like a card shuffler that Gina probably sold in garage sale. But I think she did because I didn't hardly use it except for when we played like old deck of cards games, like Yeah. Like, what's like slapjack? Slapjack, yeah. Anything that required BS, just several. There's a game we used to play. Blackjack? There's a game we used to play where it required like 4 decks of cards, and we would just shuffle the cards in that. But most games, I don't have a big need for a card shuffler. But yeah, I get what you're saying. It's just cool that you have all these pieces. Like, does Jerry have stuff like that in his board game world room layer? No, I don't think so. You're very dedicated and passionate. He claims not to be big into that stuff, but he does like Kickstarters, which have all that stuff in them. He doesn't have to be that contrary, whatever. Like this thing you have here that I'm holding up, it's like a dice. Well, that was given to us by Jason Dinger, a designer of a board game. Wow. See, this kind of stuff right here, that's so cool. Captains of the Gulf. Nice. He's coming out with a new Kickstarter that was successful. Yeah, he gave us that. He gave us that at Board Game Geek. He was just going around handing them out because he is generous and kind and very crafty. He makes those and those little metal card those wooden card holders that I use sometimes. Oh, yeah. So all I'm saying is I like that you're very, very passionate in what you do with your board gaming, and you take care of your cards, and thank you, and you really trash talk me when I put drinks on your board game table. I don't appreciate that one. I'm sorry. It is everything. I can be careless sometimes, so I know why now that you feel so strong. All right, well, I think that's going to do it for this mini pod session number 5. Okay. This is what in the world? It's 10 o'clock, y'all. He can't form words. I'm glitching. Actually, it's 11:45. Oh my God. It's almost Is it midnight. Really? Yes, I know. All right. I got to go. I got to go to sleep. Later, dudes.